Me and sis made it out, now she proud of us. They ain't teach me how to rap in those private schools. Wasn't like my rich friends, had a lot to lose. Less money, less options, lot of rules. So when that first deal came, it was opportune. And shorty got potential, I scout that. She say she in love, but I doubt that. Maybe it's to the clout. I get love in the north, I get love in the south, yeah. Shorty claims she a feminist, and her feminine. Girl, you know that he average. Girl, you know I'm a savage. They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, cut the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. No money, no class, look at them. No money, now I'm in the Benz truck with a new honey. They said I wouldn't make it, I'm like, you funny. Laughing at my haters like, you dummies. The night is young, girl, what can you do for me? 6 figures, 5 shows, big ballin'. Look, I'm very important. I took a break, had some things I had to get sorted. I might retire in my prime like I'm M. Jordan. Table dancing in Southampton. Use the glasses for Vannas. Be cooling out in the whip, but I done dared every girl on my list. KD at the 3, Djokovic with the racket. Phelps in the pool, I'm like Spieth at the Masters. Girl, you know you a bad. Girl, you know I'm a savage. They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show.
Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New York Jets and the Miami Dolphins. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Toss. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
And on the ground they go with a running back. Fighting his way through contact. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Over! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 1st and 10, Burt throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. And on 3rd and 3, they decided to go with a dime package. Yeah. 6 DBs.
Yeah, you're right. They've got 6 out there. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. First down, Morse. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he comes back with one complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down. First carry for Nick Chubb. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Morse. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. Put a score in here. Long way to go, but you're right. That's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where a play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, grab that dagger play, grab that play and just finish them off right now, because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Looking to throw. Morse. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. That one goes for 24 yards.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And it'll be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
And now out come the Jets, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line it. Blue line.
Back to throw. Burt. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down. 3rd and 11. And some extra depth to the secondary here. They're in the dime.
All right, here we go. Blue line it. Blue line it.
From the gun, Burt. He sets to fire deep. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down.
Ohio. Ohio.
Off the play fake. Morse. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Morse. And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. Taking it about the 36. Call it a 48-yard punt. Give them 9, though, on the return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Flush to his right. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. Here's the Jets punter now. They'll boot it away from about his 35. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. He's going to field this at the 4. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. So now here come the Dolphins. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
Throwing on first down. Morse dumps this to his running back, Chubb. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Looking to throw. Morse. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
To throw on second down. Morse. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
And that is incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. So out now come the Jets. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line. Darren Lee there to get him down. 3rd down from the 2, 4th down lurking, but one more shot here. What do you do, Charles?
I think you run it here. Try and create some space, get your punter a little bit more room, and if you're really lucky, you get enough space to get first down. But I think right now the big thing is take care of the football, get space for your punter, and get rid of the ball.
Mr. Conservative.
Yeah, I do kind of wear that well, man.
And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Ohio! 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 Ohio!
To throw again. Morse. Looking deep downfield. This is caught at the 20. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Equanimous St. Brown, his first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins strike quickly here for 6 points. Gano the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Fielded about a yard deep. Shedding through the defense. They can't corral him. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And New York set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Looking to throw on second down. Burt dancing to his left. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11.
While you admire anyone trying to pick up an additional couple of yards, they're just not worth it when you take shots like that. Quarterbacks have to stay in the game and stay on the field.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Miami after this. On third down. That's Hale, and he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll get him down up past the 15. That'll go for a gain of 13, helping big time to get away from that end zone. First down. On 1st and 10, Morse. Now he's forced. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Jets have recovered.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
Should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe point. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Dolphins have got it.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Following the fumble recovery, Morse airing this one out for Evans. And it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right?
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
A very solid gain of 27.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when you clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle him. That's what you're looking for.
Being chased out left. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. The Jets on 3rd down, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Hurry up, here we go. 319.
Operating from the gun, Burt. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. And Myers able to knock it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. They begin this drive with Chubb. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. So the two teams will head to the locker rooms here in Miami with the Dolphins on top. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's caught inside the 20. Oh, and the big play's going to get even bigger as penalty flags are down, and I believe they're going to get a face mask penalty tacked on. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because it had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
And that's incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
They go with Chubb on second down, and he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
To throw on third down, Morse. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on 2nd and goal? They'll run with Chubb. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Evans is alone to his right. Back to throw. Morse. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? From the gun, Morse, and that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. In for the score. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Fielded about a yard deep. What a spin. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Now a chance to make that encroachment penalty really hurt. 1st and 5.
Here we go. Let's go.
And they'll go on the ground. Look at the spin. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big 2nd half.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Looking to throw. Burt. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. They get it to him running left. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The Miami defense trying to keep him out. They haven't let him in yet. Can they hold again here on 3rd and goal? And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be 4th down. And Myers able to knock it through. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
And out come the Dolphins now. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
To throw on 2nd down, Morse. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Flex Brown.
Operating from the gun, Morse. And Ingram holds it in. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Morse. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll be a 2nd down.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But the bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they keep handing it to him.
Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
31 yards on the punt there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They pitch it to Chubb. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And the penetration too strong. He won't make it back to the line of scrimmage.
I get the thought process. 3rd and short, give it to the fullback, let him bulldoze his way, but that means you're counting on your offensive line to win the line of scrimmage, aren't you?
Yeah, there was just a mass of bodies there at the line. Looked like more defenders than offensive guys. Winds up losing yardage. New York set to take the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball in this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Off play action. Burt. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
The Jets on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 14.
Watching now, Barney. Watching now, Barney.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot.
And sometimes the position designation really doesn't matter. If you creep up to the line of scrimmage, you just have to look for the football. Make sure it moves before you do.
And the penalty, it helps a little, but they'll still have to navigate a 3rd and 9 now.
Watch it now, Barney. Hurry up, here we go. Blue line.
From the gun, Burt. He may try and run for this. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
And it's fielded at the 34. Can't ask for much more than that. A 50-yard punt followed by a loss on the return. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Handoff comes to Chubb. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. It's a big play there for Miami. 44 yards.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get a
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
To throw on 2nd down. Morse, he's going to go up top for the end zone. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd down and 12. They'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Losing 9 yards there. And it also brings up 4th. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to perhaps salt this one away. And Gano's kick is right through. And that will extend their lead here to 17-6. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, let a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
And the Jets set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency.
They've got his man complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. On 1st down, Burt. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Now let's go.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Burt, he's going to let it fly. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there. Hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call, and you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all of that yardage. That would be a big play.
Detroit! Detroit! Set! 3-19! 3-19! Gone! 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 Yes, Mike. Yes. Yes, Mike.
On 3rd down, Burt. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. Throwing on 1st down, Burt. And his throw here is incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Burt. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked up by Josh Jones. And he will bring this all the way up to the 30-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. A give. This is Chubb. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. Now here's a timeout defensively. Defensive timeout called by the Jets, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. And again, it's Chubb. A big play that time out of Chubb. Give him 58 yards on the ground.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis